If I were asked what my favorite elected or appointed office in Grand Lodge, I would have to respond that each one was at that time. My appointment as Grand Chaplain was a highlight of my Masonic career at that time. 5 years as District Deputy Grand Master of the 8th Masonic District broadened my scope of knowledge and managerial skills. Grand Order moved me into another level of working with the District Deputy Grand Masters and the elected line, as well as my 9 years on the Masonic Charity Foundation Board. All of this combined with my 3 years on the elected line provided me with the opportunity to serve New Jersey Freemasonry as your Grand Master. At that time, I thought there could be nothing more gratifying than serving as Grand Master, but I was wrong. The 4 years I was elected and have served as your Grand Secretary have surpassed any office I've held in the past. The office of Grand Secretary is more than just a title and perfunctory role in our great fraternity. It is more than just a seat on the elected line. Indeed, it is more than the Grand Secretary's duties as described in the Constitution and laws. As a member of the elected line, the Grand Secretary is an integral part of that team. There's been no greater educational delight than having the opportunity to work closely with all the secretaries of our lodges in New Jersey. They are a very special group of Masons who labor constantly for the benefit of our members of each lodge and ask nothing in return. The role of Grand Secretary is a love of duty and respect for the office and the members of our fraternity who volunteer their time to make Freemasonry New Jersey one of the greatest jurisdictions in North America. I have the highest regard for our elected and appointed Blue Lodge officers who work in harmony with Grand Lodge office on all matters of business. Over the past 4 years, I have developed a strong and lasting business and personal relationship with my fellow Grand Secretaries from jurisdictions throughout North America and numerous foreign countries. Not a day that I was in office that I did not communicate with any number of these colleagues. As I have been traveling the state, speaking and campaigning, many brothers have asked me why I resigned, and why I still want to be your secretary. Early in this Masonic year, specific disagreements and disputes arose between myself and certain members of the elected line. It was my opinion that these disagreements were detracting from the smooth teamwork required for the Grand Lodge to function properly. My focus throughout all my years of service in Grand Lodge, and in particular over the 4 years I served as Grand Secretary, have been exclusively to advance the best interests of the fraternity. Everything I have ever done has been for the benefit of the Grand Lodge, certainly not to benefit myself. Although efforts were made during the first half of this Masonic year to resolve those differences of opinion, it became increasingly apparent that my continuing as the Grand Secretary would remain a distraction for the elected line and otherwise fulfilling their roles, and a detraction for the roles of the Grand Lodge trustees in conducting the business of the Grand Lodge, which is the trustees' responsibility. For these reasons, I determined that the best interests of the Grand Lodge would be better served by my resigning and allowing the members of the elected line and the trustees to resolve their perceived disagreements without my input, and tendered my resignation. My stepping aside was never intended as, nor was it an indication that I agreed with the perceptions of the elected line, or the proposals or resolutions. It was nothing more than my recognizing that I did not want to be a part of the direction being taken by the elected line, with which I personally did not agree. The ensuing months since my resignation have revealed that my decision at that time was appropriate. I still do not agree that the direction that the elected line has chosen to pursue is in the best interest of the Grand Lodge, but I am content to be able to express my beliefs to these officers, as any other brother is able to do so, rather than being a dissenting voice among the ranks. I continue to run for re-election as your Grand Secretary, and I earnestly seek the support of the brothers to re-elect me. I believe some members of the elected line and many of the brethren have come to understand my point of view and support more measured and less antagonistic responses to the issues which still confront our fraternity. I believe that I am the one best suited to assist in pursuing these more measured and tempered responses. I am encouraged by the support which the brethren have been in demonstrating in this elective process. In April of last year, you elected me to the office of Grant Secretary, and your vote of confidence in me has stayed with me throughout the year. I ask that you maintain your trust in me for the next Masonic year. Thank you.